The anti-French sentiment in the West African nations previously coup Mali and Burkina Faso has resulted in a threat of war from the military heads against any attempt to intervention in reinstating the ousted government. The coup also leads to another plight. France and the European Union are one of Niger's biggest importers of uranium. Over 50% of the uranium ore extracted from Niger is used for fueling the French nuclear power plants. France derives 70% of its electricity from nuclear energy. According to the reports, the Niger's military regime has banned the export of uranium to France. But France says that it would have minimal impact as its supplies are extremely diversified. Not just France, but the EU too is concerned about its investments in the African nation. About 24% of uranium imports in the European Union comes from Niger. The EU derives about 1/4 of its electricity from nuclear energy, and half of the European Union's nuclear energy is produced just in France. Meanwhile, Spain said that it was preparing to evacuate more than 70 people by air. Italy said it would organize a repatriation flight, while Germany has urged its people to join the French evacuation flights immediately. However, the United States of America is not joining the European allies in evacuating its people from Niger for now. The White House says, citing a lack of immediate danger following a coup, the military junta overthrew Niger's elected president Mohamed Bazoum and his government last Wednesday. It was the 7th military takeover in less than 3 years in the West and Central Africa. Last Sunday, the West African regional bloc, ECOWAS, also threatened to use force to reinstate Bazoum if the soldiers did not do it within a week's time. Meanwhile, neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso, also ruled by military juntas, warned that they would come to Niger's defense. They say that any outside intervention to restore the ousted government would be seen as a declaration of war.
So guys, there you see the coup that's going on currently in Niger for a couple of days now. I take some time to not to rush and put this video out because I wanted to get some more information. So anyway, so here we see the coup in Niger. They depose the democratically elected president and take over. And here France is now take the citizens out of Niger. Plus, now France is threatening Niger with military action. And why I know and France is gonna want to take military action against Niger is not because because they want to reinstate the former president or to save his life. France have 60 to 70% of France's uranium comes from Niger, and that's what they are holding on to. Because they released a news briefing recently that France don't need the uranium from Niger because they have enough in reserve, blah blah blah. But if that's the case, why are you taking military action to protect your assets, as they say? Because the Niger the citizens of Niger burned down the embassy, so you already evacuated people and they already burned down your embassy. So what else is there for you to protect but the uranium that you need for your nuclear powered plant and stuff like that and that. So anyway, but after France alluded that they're going to take military action, Burkina Faso and Mali current leaders have said any action taken against Niger will be seen as an attack on Mali and Burkina Faso, and they will also take military action against anyone who interferes in the current issue in Niger. These are the two, take a look at this picture here. That's the two current leaders of Niger currently. And so yeah, but also everyone in recent days said that they're gonna cut the aid to Niger. But listen to look at this clip. Look at this news clipping and Twitter. I get it from Twitter. Where listen to what the Niger coup president said to the Americans. The United States of America threatens to withhold aid to Niger due to the military takeover coup. Niger military says they should not keep their aid. Niger military says they should keep their aid and give it to the millions of homeless people in the United States of America. Charity begins at homes. So, as you can see in that little clip, that little Twitter back and forth, America told us that every time something happens in Africa, America quick to say, oh, they're going to withhold aid. And Africans have been telling them, keep your aid, we don't need your aid. Give it to your own citizen who is in need of it. Because you're already funding a war in Ukraine that's costing you over $1 trillion currently. And which is basically money waste because Ukraine cannot win. Russia will take over. So here now, Niger is getting backing from Russia, just as Burkina Faso and Mali. Burkina Faso just signed some major deals in the Russia-Africa summit recently. And they're going to reopen the Russian embassy in Burkina Faso and trade. And as I said before, the only reason why France want to take military action is because of the uranium. But contrary to what they think, it won't be that easy. So, and the Burkina Faso current leader is the youngest president in Africa currently. And he posed a question to the West while he was at the Russia summit talking about why is Africa so poor when we have the most resources? And during that said, I did a video on this when the president of Uganda was giving a speech, and then he turned to Burkina Faso leader and said, this is the reason why Africa is still poor. And he gave an example. Uganda is the biggest producer of coffee in the world. He said over $468 billion, $60 billion was spent on coffee in 1 year. Africa get 25 billion out of that 460 billion. And out of that 2.5 billion, Uganda only get 800 million. But yet, Switzerland, who don't produce no coffee, receive 6 point something billion. And I don't remember the exact figure. So, but then he break it down even further and said, look, this is the reason why Africa is still struggling. They are paying $2.50 for 1 kilo of coffee in Uganda. But when it exported to Switzerland is selling the same coffee they just purchased from Uganda for $2.5 million. For $2.5 per kilo and selling it $40 per kilo. The same coffee. All they did was transport it from one country to the next. And this is the reason why, and this translates to everything that Africa exports. They give African countries bottom dollars for their resources. I'm talking about uranium, gold, and then when they take it and refine it, they sell it for quadruple the price and make billions of dollars of Africa, while Africa make millions, while they make billions. And if for those who are gonna come and say, oh, so why Africa don't do it themselves? This is what European Union and the West, which includes America, Germany, and other countries, they do not credit. If, for instance, Uganda is a producer of gold and they build gold refineries in Uganda, in Ghana, and yes, but guess what happened now? They are not crediting Uganda as a gold producer. So because of that now, Uganda cannot sell the gold on the open market. They can't because they're not credited. They don't have that stamp, that seal. And who is the one who giving them the seal? The EU countries. So even if you have the factories to refine your products, they still don't give you the seal to sell it globally. So you still have to go through someone else that's already accredited to sell said product, that's how they comes in and make billions and billions and billions of dollars off the continent continuously. So anyway, let's get back to the coup. And the coup in Niger, I haven't lived there. I don't know much about Niger. But if the citizens agree with this, And they are saying majority of the citizens is protesting for the coup. And they are saying they want the coup. So that in turn means that democracy cause majority rules, and majority of any country rules. So if majority of the people, of the citizens of Niger say that they want the coup and they're happy with the coup, who is with the West to come and say you have to reinstate the president and release him from prison and this and that? And also notice this: anytime the West is happy with the African leader, is for one reason and one reason only, because they are the ones who put him there, so they get everything and anything they want out of that president. That's what happened in Niger, and that's what the coup leader people take the ones who did the coup. That what they are saying, it's a puppet for the West, because he's giving away all the resources to France, because France is the one who put this president there. And so that's why France is so pissed off now when Niger said they're discontinuing uranium and something else. They're discontinuing to France. And that's what having France so pissed off. Because don't forget, when Mali, Burkina Faso kicked the French out of their country and closed the embassy, where did they all run to? Niger. They all just switch over and bring all the base, the vehicles, everything was brought to Niger next door. So what does that prove you? And the president accepted the French army to come to Niger and set up shop. Why? Because he's a French puppet. So this is what the African leaders are now saying and are now standing up. So listen to me. We no longer want the French in our business, period. Mali just dropped the French language as the official language. So they do away with it, because I'll tell you, Burkina Faso and Mali already kicked the French out, and they're in process of changing the currency. And all embassies are closed. They don't want to have no contact with the French, and they want to discontinue all trade resources with France. And I'm telling you, this is what the French are afraid of. Not only the French, the Americans as well. Notice how the Americans have been quiet on this whole issue about they're not airlifting out their citizens and blah, blah, blah. Why? Because they know they want to land on any side that who is in power to trade from with the uranium and the other resources that they needed for their military and for their nuclear programs. So anyway, let me know what you think about this little this major news in Niger, and what it's causing, what it's doing to the West, how it's helping Russia and Africa to even get even more closer to the more trades, more embassies have been opening. But even recently in the said summit, Burkina Faso signed multiple deals with businesses in Russia, and also putting promises to open factory refineries in Uganda to refine their own resources, so they don't need to send it overseas. So again, all this is hurting the West and France so much. That's why they are so up in arms and they want to take military action. But they have been warned, so let's see what happens as this goes on. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I know it's WSSM podcast as always. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section and let's discuss it. Thanks for watching. I don't know. Boom.